Fans have braved the elements and packed John Cook Arena inside the Bob Devaney Sports Center. 50 pounds. Nebraska's win against Minnesota. He lost to Joey Volk 4-1. Volk had beaten him early in the season as well at the Bison Open in the finals back in November 3-0. And of course, Jim, in a dual meet like this, if you're Nebraska, you want to keep this crowd ignited and engaged.
That's exactly what Taylor's got to try to do here. I saw something on the weigh-in sheet that Cruz only weighs 120 pounds, all right? So that's weighed in at that weight.
Nice shot.
Jumps right into on it, but it's through the underhook, and that's an opportunity for Taylor to go ahead and follow it through. So a little size difference between these two.
Alan Kaler won his first Big Ten duel a couple of weeks ago. Beat Ashton Jackson of Purdue 9-3 in the Huskers' 36-3 win over the Boilermakers. Nebraska beat Minnesota last Friday. Of course, Iowa falling inside Carver Hawkeye to Penn State.
And going off of memory, and you can see it happen right now, Joey Cruz loves that collar tie. He'll live with that. He'll slap that, hit to a left-handed shot, left arm lead here, tries to attack the right leg. Taylor more traditional, shoot across the body. Right there, there's a shot here with the left-hand lead here by Cruz, fought off pretty well by Kaler.
Kaler at a 2-on-1. Joey Cruz from Fresno, California, multiple-time placer, won a state title, went to Oklahoma before coming to Iowa City. No score here at 125. Another shot there by Cruz. Jimmy's in a little bit deeper this time.
He's got nice grip there, outside palm down. Here's going to go ahead and try the inside trip right there. Doesn't quite get it. Now a lot of hand fighting going here with the shin wizard by Kaler.
1:20 remaining here in this first period as Kaler continues to defend. How does Cruz finish here?
He's got to try to maybe get to his feet and get a little bit better grip. You can see where Kaler's be able to go ahead and keep him away with that whizzer with the right arm and keeping weight on Cruz so Cruz can't get his head up.
1 minute remaining in period number 1.
Right now, there's an opportunity here for Cruz. He can go ahead and keep his balance right there on the edge of the mat.
And there is a takedown for Cruz, and the Hawkeye strikes first with 45 seconds remaining in the first period.
Well, to follow up your question, Shane, take a look at this. Really patient in this situation. He probably spent about 35 seconds there trying to get to this position. Doesn't get it, but sweeps down and then gets all the way back to the ankles right there. And sometimes when you're defending in that situation, you get off to the edge of the mat, you think about pulling the guy off, and really, if you can counter it like you're in the middle, you're better off.
Joey Cruz wrestled for Iowa at the Big Ten Championships last March. He's an NCAA qualifier. And Jim, if you remember right with Cruz last year, he had some big dual meet wins. He beat Nicolau Rivera of Wisconsin. He beat Brendan McCrone of Ohio State.
Yeah, that's the one.
Some good depth here at 125.
That's the one that jumps out in my mind here. We really got out on the offense, hammered that collar tie, got in on the single, several good finishes. Important sequence there from Kaler getting this quick escape. Still plenty of time for both guys to score.
Cruz has been the aggressor. More attacks from the Hawkeye in this first period. Was able to finish. There's another shot. That draws a stall call from Rivera. Angel Rivera, our lead official today. Cruz working on that second takedown here late in the first period.
No control.
Now he's got an opportunity with arm around the waist right there. He can go ahead and finish. And Kaler comes back and gets neatly in that split position and works it off.
Easy, gentlemen.
Tom Brands in his 20th season, 299 career dual meet wins for the Hawkeyes.
Down.
15 times a top 4 finish at the national tournaments. 4 times
you got one
Tom
stall call,
Brands has
okay?
led Iowa to an
On top,
NCAA team title, most recently in 2021. They were 4th last March in Philly as Kaler goes on bottom. Here to begin this second period, and Cruz, for a second anyway, might have been thinking, cradle, there's the escape, and it's a 1-point match.
Yeah, good quick escape there by Kaler, but he's been beaten to the tie several times here. He's given up that collar tie.
How does he win that battle and beat Cruz to the ties?
Well, he's got to come inside. Every time Cruz comes to that collar tie right there, he's just settling. Now he's coming to the elbow. He's comfortable with that elbow tie, but so is Cruz in that position, and Cruz is the guy that has the lead. So work yourself to the inside of that collar tie. Just notice now he's kind of hanging. He comes back to the tricep. But He's got the inside wrist. He should be going right here. Whatever your shot is off that tie, you should have hit it.
Couple fakes there by Cruz.
Right there, you see that Kaler went to the wrist there. And really, Cruz has him at a disadvantage right now with his hand fighting. If you follow that up with another shot, he might get a stall warning.
He's got one already. There's a hard snap from Cruz, who's up by 1. 52nd, second period. Another shot there by the Hawkeye.
That was a little shallow. Wasn't really set up very well, but, you know, good visual.
Cruz has been moving forward, taking territory.
Yep.
Friday Night Wrestling here on the Big Ten Network. A triple header on this 23rd day of January.
Doesn't get any better than that, Shane.
It does not. Rick and Tim back in the studio in Chicago. Inside of 20 seconds. Cruz had a late attack in the first period.
Yeah, you can hear the Iowa corner telling Joey Cruz, get to your fakes, okay? He's coming out of his stance just a little bit here.
Green choice.
Mark Manning in his 26th season in Nebraska. Of course, coming off their best finish in program history, second to Penn State last March. After a runner-up finish to Penn State at the Big Tens, the NCAA Tournament Coach of the Year. And last season, won over 300 dual meet wins at Nebraska, 14 times, top 10, including the last 4 straight seasons. What a job he's done. And you know he's into it tonight, Jim.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's Manning loves to be in that corner.
Quick escape there by Cruz.
Yeah, that's good.
4-2.
Good quick work there. Sometimes, Shane, you just got to talk yourself into going ahead and, you know, this will work. I do this, dominate here. And you can see where Cruz is shut down a little bit, but Kaler hasn't taken advantage of it yet.
Inside of 90 seconds here in this third period. Joey Cruz, a takedown back in the first period.
Counter shot there by Kaler. Not getting through that head-hands defense. Hard right collar again by Cruz. That's where he likes to be. He's come out of his stance a little bit.
Straight on shot, no setup, and Cruz almost capitalized.
Yeah. You know, for both these guys, if you've got anything that's misdirection at this point in the match, that's a good time to go ahead and hit it.
If you're Kaler, you have 50 seconds. You trail it by a pair.
Yeah, he's had some little bit of success getting to a right-handed underhook, all right? But Cruz's hands have been active, and now he's in that, you know, mode in the match here with a 2-point lead. He just knows he doesn't have to give up a takedown, and he has to stay in the logo.
And we are back to the center, 27 seconds. One of a handful of toss-up matches here in this dual meets.
Green stall.
There's a stall call on Cruz, but he's up by 2. He's okay to give up another stall call. Kaler works an underhook. Good job there by Cruz to circle back in. It's his first Big Ten dual meet of the season in for Dean Peterson. And Joey Cruz and the Hawkeyes deliver the first punch at 125, the 4-2 decision for Joey Cruz.
Huge performance by Cruz. Nice job of keeping his lead there. Controlled the ties, went out there and really got the best shots of the match off. Big win for the Hawks.
Up next at 133 for the Hawkeyes from Fort Dodge, Iowa, Drake, Iowa.
A pair of All-Americans set to battle here at 133. Two-time national finals, Drake Ayala ranked 10th in the nation, and 8th ranked Jacob Van D for the Cornhuskers. There's Drake Ayala, 4-5. And Jacob Van D, redshirt junior from Union City, Pennsylvania, 12-1 this season. He was 3rd at the Navy Classic. He was pinned by Raymond Lopez of American. That was the 3rd match of the year. He has now won 10 straight. Came back to take 3rd at the Navy Classic. Coming off a 1-0 win over Minnesota's Brandon Morvari. Jim, this is going to be an old-fashioned backyard brawl, a couple of dogs at 133.
Well, I really enjoyed watching the warm-ups here because Iowa took the mat. Of course, home team warms up in their own wrestling room, but Drake Ayala was on fire as far as warm-ups go. He was firing from all cylinders. He had taken several shots.
Jacob Van Dien, a single leg driving through. As that single leg works up, gets behind the Hawkeye and plants it down for three. And that ignites this Husker crowd.
Well, Van Dien has a little fire of his own. Good quick escape.
Van Dien came out swinging.
What I love about that, Shane, is, okay, you opened up the match. Now they're scoring. Both guys are going to come at each other really hard here in this position. Van Dien doesn't back away. Heavy left-handed collar tie by Van Dien. Tight on that elbow. The only thing you have to worry about here, one of the things you have to worry about with the terrific offense of Drake Ayala is you don't lean into him too much because you're going to walk right into that slide by. Yeah.
Signature move for Drake Ayala as we near the midway points in this first period. The Husker crowd chanting Van Dien. Seventh in Philly last March. Of course, Ayala fell in the final. Last year at 133, was a finalist the year previous at 125. Lost to Marcus Blaze of Penn State, 4-2 last Friday night.
Ayala trapping the head, coming back with left-handed high crotch right there. He's looking for his offense there. The inside bicep tie on the right side, right? So he can clear himself out. See how he's backing up off of that.
Another shot there by Van Dien. Inside of a minute remaining in the first.
A little tricky there. He's a little misdirection shot there. He dropped there, made it look like he's going to the right leg and came to the left leg of Van Dien.
Ayala from Fort Dodge, Iowa, with a three-time state champ. And now a good shot from Ayala.
It was a great shot, but he actually doubled up on it right there. The first time Van Dien reacted really well, got that left foot up in the air. The second time he was able to get to the leg, but he couldn't shoot through the underhook of Van Dien. He ties you up in ways. I mean, very strong man at this weight class.
133 stacked in the Big Ten. Lucas Berg, the reigning national champion.
Yep.
Marcus Blaze, Ben DeVino, a couple of young stars in the Big Ten. Final seconds in the first period. Jacob Van Dien at 3-1. He did not waste any time, Jim, getting to his attack.
Yeah, I'm singing the praises of Drake Ayala in his drilling. And boom, drop your level and keep on moving through. Right, you take a look at the finish here. Just basically came around the waist and got a circle back and got a back heel trip for the mat return.
Cornhusker goes on bottom. That one brought Mark Manning out of his chair. One neutral.
Right back in on a shot again. This will bring the crowd back into it.
That was ruled an escape.
Yes.
Ankle pass there by Ayala as they scramble early in the second period.
And Ayala was in great shape to be able to finish that, but he left an ankle behind. Now Ayala, elbow deep. Both guys, referee calls a stalemate.
I love Jim.
These guys are going for it. These guys are going for it.
Once they award that escape, get right back in with the leg attack.
Yeah, you know, we've seen a lot less of that because a lot of times the official will just give them a reversal on it. I really think it's penalizing them, you know, the action in the match. You know, it should be a 4-point exchange if you have enough clearance there. Shot there, counter shot there by Ayala. He's able to go ahead and trying to shelf the leg.
See the flexibility there from Van Dien.
Look at the front headlock there he put on. Keeping his balance.
Ayala works up.
Comes to the outside. Should be able to score. Can get a little bit better angle. He does.
Hits the corner and scores the three. And Drake Ayala has tied this matchup at 4. 55 seconds to go in the second period. Ayala with the half Nelson, tight waist. Now a thigh pry.
Get to their feet, they're going to go off. Take a look at this action here on the shot. Watch him go ahead. He plants his head right down there, so he knows he has to get away from that because he's looking to be switched right there. He gets on his laces up, starts circling all the way around the body, gets all the way to the far side of the body, scores the points.
Drake Ayala 69-21 in his career. In dual meets 29-11.
On top.
He has done a lot of winning in that black Iowa singlet, sinks into claw right off the whistle. Here's a sit from Van Deen, looking to turn the corner, head hunts, works to his feet, and gets the escape, and Van Deen's back out in front by 1.
He has a lot of strength. Pull that head down like that. Both guys full. Oh, beautiful high crotch there. Switch off to a double here by Ayala. He shoves the leg.
Tries to scoop up the ankle.
He gets both cheeks down. It's going to be close.
There it is. A huge takedown for Ayala inside of 20 seconds. These two going back and forth. Ayala 2 takedowns in the period.
And that's what he looked like in warm-ups there. He got in 7 or 8 explosive shots like that. That high crotch. Great action right now. Boom, drops in, swishers those ankles, laces flat, gets a better angle, keeps on moving. You know, Van Deen's going to stop a lot of action there with that, you know, chest on the lower back there and try to crotch lift him right there. Once he gets both cheeks on the mat, there's 3 for Ayala.
Iowa tonight, Jim, more takedowns in these first 2 matches than they had all of last Friday night. They brought some offense. This looks like a different team. I know it's a different team in Nebraska compared to Penn State, but still.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, in that comparison, Shane, it's not so much about you, it's about them.
Riding time at 40 seconds for Ayala.
Shot attempt there by Van Deen. Not able to break through the head-hands defense, and he gets right back on the shot with the lead.
Ayala looking for another takedown.
Notice how he's shelving once more. He's going to go ahead and try to bring it out. And he knocks him down the other way. Almost a run the pipe like we talked about before. He slams him down towards that. You know, the leg that's up, gets him circling back that direction.
And now a situation with Ayala, 11-5, riding time nearing a minute.
Good call, Shane.
And we'll see if Ayala will cut him because he's been magnificent on his feet.
Certainly has, but you know, you get 6 point, 7 point. Yeah, I think you would do that. Looking over at the Iowa corner, no instructions to do that so far, but a lot of time left.
3 takedowns for Ayala.
1 minute remaining in the 3rd period.
Riding time over 60 seconds, so he's essentially, at the moment anyways, up by 7.
I think this is going to get settled by probably Van Deen coming up and reaching for that head.
And keep in mind, Van Deen scored the first takedown. Since then, it's been all Drake Ayala.
Action!
Hawkeyes got a win from Joey Cruz at 125. This is exactly what I would need.
Neutral.
And a packed house here in Lincoln.
Well, I think the best thing that could have happened in this match for Drake Ayala is basically that first takedown. Give up that first takedown. Now you exhale and go out on there. Not really woke him up, but just got out. It just felt freer, you know. Sometimes in those 0-0 scores, you don't really get the best of yourself out of there. But you know what? This has been the best we've seen Drake Ayala so far.
Gave up the first takedown, but roared back, and with the riding time points, it will be a 12-6 decision for Drake Ayala at 133. Evens his record on the season to 5-5. And W, 141 pounds, the reigning Big Ten champion, national finalist Brock Hardy, ranked 3rd in the country for Nebraska. And Nasir Bailey for the Hawkeyes. Jim, Brock Hardy, his motto is, wrestling is fun. Brock Hardy is fun to watch wrestle.
He is, because he's got, basically he's thinking about offense. He's also thinking about pinning you in every situation. And I think the times that wrestling has gone bad for him is when he's kind of, you know, jumped into that type of stuff, like the roll through he tried to hit against Vega at Oklahoma State meet. But he is fun to watch. And Nasir Bailey, hey, he's a guy who's picked himself off the canvas here. You know, we watched him at the Soldier Salute and had a tough match in the semis there.
Hey, watch those hands. Watch your hands in the face.
Coming back real strong and doing meet against Braden Davis at 141. So All-American at 133 is Nasir Bailey, and a guy that, you know, if he picks it up a little bit, he can move up that ladder at 141.
Top 10 matchup here at 141. Nasir Bailey, of course, coming to Iowa City from Arkansas Little Rock, where, as you mentioned, Jim, an All-American down at 133. Originally from Park Forest, Illinois. Four-time state champ at Rich Township High School. Brock Hardy, the three-time All-American from Brigham City, Utah. Box Elder High School, four-time Utah state champion. No score, 60 seconds in. Here at 141. Hardy 12-3 this season. Didn't wrestle last week. Kind of break against Minnesota.
Both guys wrestling for tie-ups from the elbow down. Wrist ties for Bailey. I've just got to think, I've been watching some of his matches where he's been able to do a lot of wrist tilts and control with that wrist tie. He's clinging, right? He grabbed something, and he's going to keep it for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Shane, but I just hated, you were probably clinging. I would have hated wrestling you, right?
When I got my hands on you, Jim, you weren't going anywhere. Worked down to that wrist, hit that coffee grinder.
Yeah.
Rest was history.
Okay. Killing me. Oh, beautiful job coming off that elbow tie right there. Hardy trying to get his chest sealed on that leg and that knee right there on the inside. This should be a relatively easy finish if he can clear his hands. Tries to sweep one time, gets to the far ankle, but doesn't close it. Now he's not sealed, and Bailey did a great job of getting out of that. The first thing that Hardy did was seal his chest to that leg, and he was in great position when he came up. Didn't get back to the center of the mat, and then it got a little loose on him here, and Bailey was able to get out.
And there's a stall call on Bailey, but that was great defense by Nasir Bailey to keep this 0-0 inside of 30 seconds. Another shot there by Hardy, but great counterattack there from the Hawkeye. Bailey on the edge.
Yeah, just got to be careful. Both guys have got to be careful here on the edge. Hardy's thinking about scoring, though, trying to drag him all the way back.
This is exactly where Brock Hardy likes to be. Can scramble with the best of them. Brock Hardy had an opportunity, Jim, but credit the Hawkeye.
Watch the right knee here. Watch him bend it, all right? Bend it against that chest. Does a great job. He actually just puts his foot on the mat, hand fights in there, and drives back into it. So he didn't try to get off the mat. He countered it like he was in the middle.
There is his wife, Courtney. I think Brock's going to hear about that later when he goes home. She was not happy about that, Jim.
Missed opportunity.
Hardy works to his feet, and the Cornhusker on the board first as he tallies an escape. Brock Hardy had an amazing
Keep your hands off the face. Understand? Keep your hands off the face.
Pinned Vance Vombar of Minnesota to claim the Big Ten title. And him and Mendez had a great final. Lost to Mendez 12-9 as the Buckeye won his second national title at 141. And they will go at it on Sunday. That match will be on Big Ten Plus, Nebraska and Ohio State, right here in Lincoln.
Boy, that's one of the must-see matches on Big Ten Plus.
There's a roll from Brock Hardy. Hardy elevates in the scramble, but look at Nasir Bailey still with the advantage position on a single.
Great job of anticipating that roll through. And right there, there's 2, 3.
No takedown awarded yet.
I thought the toe was in. All right, take a look at it here. Look at the roll through, sprawl. That's exactly what you do now. Try to keep your ankles free. Crowd really getting on Bailey here, a little bit late getting back to the match, and then at the same time, Tom Brands throws in the brick.
Yes, the challenge brick flew in from the Iowa corner.
I thought he had both ankles and one toe in. I wonder if they're going to give it to him because it took so long.
And again, want to remind everybody that in dual meets, the referees can look at any sequence at their discretion, or the challenge brick comes in. You get one brick, and if you lose the challenge, you are out of challenges for the remainder of the duel.
Take a look at the left foot of Nasir Bailey. See if he stays in. He gets both ankles here. That foot, in my opinion, stays in, and he's got weight on the hands. All right? I think that's a takedown. We know that Wader's going to go on the hands. We see that Brock Hardy turns away. Okay? Puts his weight on the hands. The left toe is still in. That's 3.
What I love is the one Hawkeye in the crowd that's got the 3 fingers up.
Yeah. How do you get that good a seat?
Drake Ayala rocking the mustache, mixing things up a little bit. It worked for him tonight. You were really impressed with the offense he brought.
Yeah, I think if he wrestles that type of pace, we're back to seeing the real Drake Ayala.
Nasir Bailey, two-time Pac-12 champion at Little Rock.
This shouldn't take that long.
Nasir Bailey became the first All-American in Trojans history in 2024 by placing 4th. Over 50 career wins at Little Rock. Brock Hardy awaits.
After further review, the call on the mat is upheld.
Call is upheld, no takedown. And we are back at it, 1:10-second period. Hardy with the quick escape, the 1-0 lead.
How about that?
Hardy with a 2-on-1. I like the pace with both these guys, Jim.
I do too, and what I'm seeing here is that both guys are basically, they know how to attack from the elbow down, elbow to wrist. See how this 2-on-1, he's got the cross wrist right there, he's got the elbow tie, but he drops right down to the leg, gets your opponent to make that little half step. Now over collars.
32 Cornhuskers in the program history of 100 career victories. Hardy looking to become number 33 tonight. He's got 99. Hardy with that underhook left side. Drops it in a single leg on the edge and out of real estate.
I'm still shocked by that call.
He said no takedown. Hardy again. 2-on-1 to a wrist, hard snap. Short time in the second, and we go to the third. Bailey will have the choice.
Hardy leads Bailey 1-0. Bailey chooses neutral.
And Bailey chooses neutral.
Interesting call right there. Now, but I don't think that's going to keep Hardy from getting on his offense right now if it's there. See that Bailey just basically holding position there.
Hardy looking to put Nebraska on the scoreboard. Iowa leads at 6-0, getting decisions at 125 and 133. The Huskers need this one from their 3-time All-American. Brock's wife, Courtney, looks on with anticipation.
Yeah, 105 left here, Shane. You know, it's kind of another 15 seconds in no man's land, but he jumps in on a shot. Hardy's best when he's going to be able to seal his chest to that leg.
Works to his feet.
It's up tight.
Similar situation what we saw early in that first period when Hardy was unable to finish.
They go off the mat. Good sequence there. Hardy holding the lead.
Nebraska crowd making some noise for Brock Hardy.
They really need this
one. They cover their feet. Here inside John Cook Arena. Just over 30 seconds to go in the third.
Yeah.
Hardy has not been hit with stalling. We're down to 20 seconds.
Collar tie.
The center of the mat.
Collar tie and elbow tie right there. Now drops into an underhook. Hardy does. Got that left-handed underhook.
Here's a late shot from Nasir Bailey. Brock Hardy hangs on for the 1-0 decision. Into the Nebraska history books. The 33rd in program history. It's number 100 for Hardy. Jim Bailey was close a couple of times, including this final attempt.
Yeah, he's very capable of going ahead and stealing one right now in this position here. Rolls back through, but Hardy's, the old guy at the Y, knows his positions there.
She's been by his side a long, long time. Courtney Hardy, Brock's wife, here to celebrate the big win tonight in Lincoln. 149 pounds. Another toss-up match. Top 20 matchup with 17th ranked Ryder Block and Chance Lamer ranked 14th. Lamer's first season in Lincoln and wasting no time as Ryder Block scores a takedown Jim in the first 5 seconds.
Jumps right on a big lead there, and this guy is tough in the top position. He can go ahead and grind you down quite a bit. We saw where Lamer, just spent a long time here since he's been on the mat, right? So got his opportunity here, and so he's got to be in efficient positions. Getting a quick escape is part of that.
He did not wrestle against Minnesota. Kate Zinkin wrestled for the Cornhuskers. Ryder Block 6-3. Back-to-back losses to Joe Zargo and Shane Van Ness. The Nittany Lion 13-4 over the Hawkeye, diving in from space. Block a 4-time finalist, 3-time state champ at Waverly Shell Rock, won Fargo a couple of times, but he's found a new level this season, Jim. He's battled some injuries. He's looked really good.
I think he has looked really good, and he progressed real well. It's just like in the Penn State meet, I really thought that the first 5 guys went out there and battled real hard, and we're really starting to see that again here in this meet. Jumping out there to that nice free shot takedown. That just tells you you're ready to go. You can see the strength and the power that Lamer has right there. He's able to drive back, but the length. The Ryder Block basically going to an under with the left arm. That's a little bit kind of reverse the way most people do it, so it's a unique feel out there, a left-handed underhook.
Lamer began his career at Michigan as a redshirt freshman in 2023, was 7th at the Big Tens, then fell in the blood round at the national tournament in Ann Arbor a couple years, then went to Cal Poly. Fell just short of All-American status again, dropping another blood round a couple years ago in Kansas City.
Likes that over and under with that left-handed underhook. Taking advantage of his length, his Ryder Block. And you notice he's taken about 3 free shots. He doesn't really have a good setup, so Lamer's really measuring him coming in. He got the first one, and he showed that a few times now, and he hasn't been able to. He's got to go back to his tie-ups and setups right now. Wants to score again. And as far as Lamer goes, he doesn't take much. He doesn't have a series of technique where he really pushes into a guy pushes back, and he's got something there. So he's more of a power guy. Work the collar tie. Slows the match down.
20 seconds left in this first period. Block scored a takedown 5 seconds in to really set the tone. Shot there from Lamer.
And that's what I've seen from Lamer before. With a shot, with the shoot, he shoots from that wide stance right there. It doesn't get much penetration.
Shot from space from Ryder Block to close out the period. Right off the whistle. Ryder Block shot right out of a cannon.
I like that, right? Jumps right into it. Boom, boom, goes right into it. Puts his forehead right into the ribs right there and keeps his feet driving.
Lamer from Corvallis, Oregon, a 4-time Oregon champ. 3 team titles at Crescent Valley. Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award winner in 2021. And Lamer pulls to within 1 with his second escape. Now he throws it by in another hook. Here we go, Jim. Lamer brings this crowd to its feet with a takedown. These guys are scrapping, Jim.
Yeah, Ryder Block went right into the power of Lamer right there, and he basically regrets it.
5 unanswered for the Cornhusker, who's up 5-3, 30 seconds into the second period.
This is an opportunity for Lamer to get a little bit more riding time back the other direction here. You get beat like that in a position, like particularly an over and under, where you almost go to your back. You got to get your senses rattled a little bit, and the guy's good and tough in the top position. He can make it difficult for you.
Nice job there by Ryder Block.
Good match.
4. This is a fun match. We knew coming in, this match could go several different ways, looking up and down the lineups. Iowa leading it 6-3. Snatch single leg here for Lamer.
He's got his chest sealed to the leg right there. He's on the inside. Block's really trying to get low right now in this position. Lamer's going down to the mat with him. That's going to be difficult for him to finish.
Has that single leg shelved. Block had the whizzer. And we are back to the center. So if you are Lamer right there, Jim, how do you put 3 on the board and finish?
Well, I like the fact that he was, touching and going right there. Little snatch shot right there. He's got to make sure his feet are timed with his hands. You know what I mean? You get a setup, you got to get your feet ready to go.
Good job there to neutralize the attack from Ryder Block. Lamer with an underhook.
Yeah, just basically forced him off that with that underhook.
Hard snap there from the Cornhusker. 15 ticks in this second period. Hard-fought, contested battle through 5 minutes. And it's a 1-point match to the third.
Let's take a look at this takedown here. Counter shot off the underhook, reaches into the crotch. It's kind of a Metzger move right there. Pops his hips in. Used to do that a lot back in the day. Andre Metzger, the Hall of Famer, made that technique famous. Working off the underhook and far up into the crotch and pop your hips in and lift. So nice job by Lamer.
Drop down.
And now
One.
Block has squared his hips up, so we're going to be
1 neutral.
5-5. We want to hear from you. Triple header tonight, Friday Night Wrestling. Hashtag Friday Night Wrestling. Who are you watching with? What are you eating? What are the dogs doing? Little kids in their singlets and headgears.
Well, we heard from the bathtub dogs.
Yes, we did.
National anthem.
Yeah. They sang the national anthem, did a nice job. Here's Ryder Block looking for a takedown and the lead. Great opportunity here.
Got himself on the inside of the leg. He's just got to keep on bowing his hips in. Right? Nice sweep right there and cover properly. Cover the cradle.
Ryder Block has Lamer on his back. It's 6 for the Hawkeyes.
I tell you what, finishing on the inside of the leg like that, just beautiful. Going right into the cradle.
Taylor ranked 5th in the nation, 13-2. Jordan Williams, 8-3, ranked 12th for Iowa, the 2-time national qualifier. Williams' first 2 years at Oklahoma State, last season at Arkansas Little Rock. And for Antrell Taylor, Jim, the 2-time All-American from Millard, Nebraska, a little bit of a slow start, but he has found his rhythm. He has won 7 straight after the national duels.
Wasn't that an amazing finish that you saw when he was wrestling the Minnesota athlete there? It was in tight
Charlie
match.
Millard.
Yeah, was able to go ahead
got
and
the
get
fall at the 7-minute mark, and that was a big-time fall in propelling Nebraska over the Gophers in Minneapolis last Friday night.
Oh, wow. Antrell really loves that right-handed underhook, and really, you see where Jordan Williams trying to block out right there and try to keep his forehead in the right cheek. They come up to a bear hug. Gets the stall warning.
Stall call on Jordan Williams. Taylor was a 3-time state champion.
Yeah, call for stalling, Green.
Picked up his 3rd Navy Classic crown earlier this season. Both those losses at the national duels in Tulsa mid-November. 9-1 to Logan Rosinski of Lehigh, and then 16-4 to Brandon Cannon of Ohio State. But Jim, a lot can change, and you made those comments back when it happened that, hey, sometimes reigning national champions, you were there. It takes a little bit of time to get back into it.
Well, for me, I just wanted 1 more month of being the guy. So, anyway, it's just different, you know, when you come back. I mean, it's different in a better way a lot of times, too. Sometimes guys have, you know, don't put they just collapse maybe at the end. They don't have the belief system that they're going to be the national champion. You know, you can use that to your favor as well. So I'm sure he'll work through that. Nice job with that underhook again. That's got to be close.
No takedown awarded yet. 90 seconds into this first period.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting if he let that left leg go. All right, he'd be right into a Turk position right there. Now they're going to slide back out, and the referee's going to call stalemate. So it's an interesting. Shane, I'd spend a half hour, 3 days a week working on those face-to-shoelace positions. All right, the roll-throughs. Right, we just see it so much. It's got to have quality time on that. Guys are scoring. Some guys are scoring on it, and others are just getting stalemates. Got to be a scorer in that position.
Mentioned Taylor's won 7 straight, 4 of the last 5 are bonus point wins. 9 bonus on the season. Really got on track. On December 21st, that win over Landon Robidoux of Oklahoma State. 45 to go in a scoreless match. The Hawkeyes leading at 12-3.
The fingers were clasped up there, and Jordan Williams goes and shakes his hand, just like he's greeting him.
Action, gentlemen.
See, we're trying to do that little overhand whip right there. It was Jordan Williams, but you can't do that unless you've shown some sort of forward pressure on your opponent. Then Antrell moves into you, right? So, but there isn't any forward pressure from Williams right now. He's just basically touch and go and circle.
Inside 10 seconds.
There's a shot.
Williams deep on a single leg.
That's real.
Time is going to run out on the Hawkeyes.
Oh.
That's in period number 1. Taylor and Williams tied at 0.
Yeah, take a look at this. The finger clasp. Here's here's how you get out of it. You take the other hand over there and you say, hey, I'll just shake your hand.
Green, you got one
Williams
stall,
goes
okay?
underneath. Williams had won 6 straight before falling to P.J. Duke, and I was sitting last Friday night.
Let him get set up. All right, hey.
Caution on Williams.
Set. On top. Caution. Hey,
Well,
Red, back up, back up.
Another caution.
Hey, my
that
man,
on
that's
Williams?
2,
Yeah, 'cause
okay?
I saw
Next
the-
one's a point. Hold on, go on the whistle.
Right
Red,
wrist.
on top.
Dan, the green. We didn't see the caution who was on. Maybe there wasn't one.
Caution, caution. Hey, listen, get on the
one's
side,
on.
get on the back, head in the
Antrell.
back, in the middle, understand? Gentlemen, let's start well here, okay? Hold on, Green, on top, Red.
Taylor last season, 27-4. He was 4th at the Big Tens, the 3 seed at the national tournament. Beat Joey Blaze in that final for Purdue 4-2.
On neutral.
Blaze had beat him at the Big Tens in that 3rd place match. Williams, the early takedown, the Hawkeye 1-0 lead in the 2nd.
It's amazing how many national champions you see coming out of that 3rd and 4th place match at the Big Tens.
Him and Ridge love it, both winning titles for Nebraska. Historic night in Philadelphia. Their first champion since George Burroughs in 2011. First time they had 2 champs since 1984 with Jim and Bill Shear. They had 3 in the finals that year. Gary Albright lost at heavyweight.
Big guy, Gary Albright. He was fun to watch. He could put some 300-pounders on their head.
Jordan Williams having some fun out there. He could feel it right now.
Period number 2.
Williams, a 3-time Fargo champ, 3-time state champion at Collinsville High School. Won the Soldier Salute for the Hawkeyes. 35 seconds in a 1-point match.
See who can get to a leg here. We've seen how Antrell Taylor's like to work off that right underhook. Now you see Williams is reacting pretty well to it. Not giving a high elbow there with his left arm right there. He's keeping it down low. Doing a good job of blocking with his head with that. And it's kind of slowed Taylor down.
Taylor down to a knee.
Yep. I really like that shot that Williams hit at the end of the first period. See if it comes back to that.
Taylor has choice in this 3rd period. He'll go on bottom. And Jordan Williams talking to Terry Brands.
Yeah. Hey.
I said before,
Okay, we're going to go
Williams
one neutral.
feeling it, saying, come get some. So Jordan Williams has the conversation with
caution, two cautions
Terry
in the stall
Brands
here,
of the
third
Iowa
period,
corner, and chooses neutral. And as I say that, Tom Brands gets out of his seat to talk with Angel Rivera and Conrad Duffy. Not exactly sure what the situation is here.
It's a 1-1 score. Yeah. Tom saw it 2-1 and he jumped up and made the call. You don't get too much past Tom Brands in these situations.
So Williams just gives the escape. So 1-1, here we go, neutral. Neither guy, Jim, has had a real threatening attack up to this point.
Well, Williams did have that shot late, right? But see if he can get back into it, but wasn't able to finish. And then there it is, the shot right there. He switches off to the leg.
Has his hands locked.
Yep.
Taylor with that underhook.
Yeah, just had to get a better grip.
And now he throws it by.
That was a good job by Antrell Taylor picking the inside wrist, but if you saw the lock, it really wasn't a strong lock right there. Easy one to pick. But I like the shot.
With an escape. Iowa leading at 12-3 after the fall from Ryder Block at 149. Taylor across a few feet, still down on that one knee.
Gets the underhook.
Exactly.
Yeah. But notice how I'm sure they've worked on it all week. You're flopping that elbow, not really flopping, but diving that elbow right over the top of the underhook.
If I'm Jordan Williams, Jim, I want to end it in regulation.
Here's the right-handed underhook right there off of the double leg shot.
Now he goes double unders.
Yep, got him towards the edge. And Williams has got to be careful. He's been the one that's been warned for stalling. He's got to be able to circle back in.
Down to 20 seconds and does a nice job of doing exactly that.
Yeah, and just, yeah, we saw that so much last week with the Penn State wrestlers, how they were able to keep the clock running with the lead, particularly on the edge of the mat. Oh, wow.
So close.
These guys are quick.
Yes, they are. Lightning quick. And this one is going to sudden victory. 6 minutes and 52 seconds have been wrestled neutral, Jim, with no points.
Two cautions in the stall,
2
one
minutes.
caution, okay?
If these guys want to
Sudden
settle
victory,
it,
here we go.
if they can, right here on the feet.
Antrell's mom, Tammy, looking on. That is a great piece on the mat. Make sure you check that out. It debuts after this dual meet.
His story is just amazing.
It's amazing. Gets that underhook once again.
Right there, he's got the bear hug. Can he bring his hips in?
Antrell Taylor, here we go.
Great balance by Williams. He doesn't have much there with those double overs, but he's got the grip a little higher. Needs a mat return.
He needs that mat return. Williams fighting, and now Williams, the advantage position, Jim, his hands are locked in a body lock.
Yeah, but it's fought out pretty well. That's a position that Antrell likes to be in. You see how he ducked that underhook right there. This is great action. Oh, wow.
And there's a stall call on Williams.
Just drove him off the mat.
And the point for Taylor. Antrell Taylor wins it 2-1. Madness in Lincoln. And LJ Anujo on a Bismarck streak, beating Andrew Sparks of the Gophers last Friday night, 9-2.
It's just fascinating to watch the length of Anujo out there. 165-pounder, you can barely believe he made the weight. You know, it looks really solid up there in the upper body, and just amazing. And I don't know what he has for bones, but they might, you know, they're actually really light out there. He's really muscled up and got a lot of length, and he's just a fascinating watch to watch his body out there competing at this level against a top guy like Aliendo.
And and he is a beast in that top position. Caliendo fell to Messenbrink 11-2 last Friday.
Action, gentlemen.
Big Ten finalist and national finalist. Here is Caliendo on a single leg. Caliendo looking for the 3-0 lead.
Still no
Head to
control.
the outside.
Danger.
Araujo tries to roll him through.
Danger. One. Out of it. No control, oh. Neutral.
And we are back to the center with 1:43 remaining. Caliendo was an All-American at North Dakota State in 2023 with a 7th place finish. That after a 3rd place finish at the Big 12s. And he has been fantastic for the Hawkeyes. 4th in 2024. A national finalist fell to Messenbrink in 2025. And here is Caliendo, the Hawkeye, corrals the legs of the Cornhusker and leads it 3-0.
One neutral.
An escape for Araujo. 3-1 score, 2 minutes into this first period. Caliendo approaching 100 wins in his career. Scores a lot of points. Good counter attack here by Caliendo. You see the flexibility from Araujo. Caliendo on a single leg chases down that opposite ankle.
No control.
The Cornhusker continues to fight the position.
Yeah.
30 seconds in this first period.
No control, gentlemen.
Down to 15 seconds. Caliendo trying to drag him back in. He's got him on his hips.
No, I got nothing.
For a split second. And Araujo, what a great fight to not give up that second takedown. Caliendo a 3-1 lead to the second period. Araujo has the choice, takes a look over at head coach Mark Manning, and he'll defer.
Chooses down.
Caliendo to go underneath.
Caliendo chooses down position to begin period number 2.
All right, hey, Red, you got one stall call, Red. Hold on top.
And this is where Araujo is so tough in this top position. U20 freestyle world bronze in 2024. Finishes a lot of periods on top. Able to turn guys as well. Spent a lot of time working with Ridge Lovett in the top position.
Hey. Red.
Araujo able to get his hips back
Hey,
up.
I think I got locked hands. I got to go look.
Caliendo has that left leg and makes the turn, but Araujo remains in control, and he's got his riding time now built up to 30 seconds.
Still red. Still red. Still red.
No,
Still red. Still red. Still red.
looking for that reversal, but Araujo remains in control.
1, 2, 3. Hey, I got to go look at it. We got to go look at locked hands.
Officials, time out for review.
So now they're going to review. Again, in a dual meet, these officials can review any sequence at their discretion. Iowa is out of challenges. Nebraska still has theirs left.
We still have everything in-house. So there's 6 cameras in-house.
Okay. I need the front. I need the front.
Come back on here. That looks like in this position right here where the grip is split right there, that's a reversal. Clearly a reversal, and they end up back in a scramble position as they head back off the mat. Referees are going to try to take a look at it, but, you know,
Another look.
been wrong before.
Has that bottom leg.
So when he splits the grip right here, I think that's the reversal. Yeah, I think they're. So the scoreboard here in-house says 3-1, and I think they've got to be looking at the time issue here. Could be a possibility. Hey, but how about Ujo in that top position?
He's
there?
a beast on top. That is what he is known for. Very crafty.
Yeah, if he can.
Just a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, to bring along a go-to takedown. We already know he's tough on with his defense there. I mean, Caliendo, excellent finisher of all of his techniques.
I just reviewed it, and there's no change. After further review, there's no change. Right on top.
Call on the mat is upheld, so Araujo remains in control.
So no reversal. Hold.
And now Conrad Duffy brings Angel Rivera back over to the head table.
Duffy heard it from
we
the
rolled through
Nebraska
that you
corner.
gave a
They
reversal, so we
must
got
have
to
a
correct the
point here
routing
with regard to the time.
So
Okay. So hold on. Right there, 34, 34.
Packed house here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
2, 3, 4.
Araujo takes the riding time over a minute.
1 neutral and 1.
And there's an escape by Caliendo. He extends his lead. Now 4-1 with a half a minute remaining in the second period.
Both guys got a considerable blow there, right there with the
I got it.
So Caliendo maybe thinking about bonus points in this situation.
Half a shot, great counterattack there from Caliendo. He's got both ankles. And with 10 seconds left, he tacks on 3 more.
1 neutral.
Great second half of the period for Caliendo as he opens things up a little bit. Araujo does get the late escape to close the period,
Yeah, look at this.
but well timed.
Little counter shot right there. Get to the corner. Collects the far leg. A way to get your teammates fired up.
Caliendo, a guy that scores a lot of points.
Yeah, especially in the third period. So this is a situation, even with the break in the match, with the scoring issue. Sometimes that break isn't all what you. I mean, it's better than not having one, I guess. But a guy like Caliendo, who has a good, strong pace, put a lot of points on you very quickly.
Nice mat return for Caliendo, who has over 50 bonus point victories in his career. 25 tech falls. He can light that scoreboard up. Out of Geneva, Illinois, was the first state champ at Batavia High School. And it's 8-3 following that escape.
So hunting bonus points here. 3-point takedown makes it an 8-point score. Riding time probably won't be much of a factor here. There's another shot there by Caliendo. Now he's going lower and lower below the knee. Cracks him down. You're going to see the flexibility, because if you move too quickly into him, you're going to see some sort of action where he tries to high flyer you. But nice job of settling back there on the hips, below the knee in the beginning, and then just barely above the knee on the finish.
He stayed really patient and got the takedown. Now Araujo looking to sit that corner, cut the corner rather.
Yeah. Riding time has been stopped in this situation. So 11-4 score, 39 seconds.
Riding time a non-factor. Caliendo, a takedown would give him the major decision.
You got to give LJ Araujo a lot of credit there for staying in there. He's presented himself. And it just must be exhausting going against this guy. He does wear a lot of guys out from the position.
Yes, he is.
Now a counter
Another
shot
great counter from Caliendo.
Settles back.
He's going to get the 3. And he's up 14-4.
2, 3.
Closes out both the second and third periods with late points. It's the major decision for Mikey Caliendo. The Hawkeye is back into the W column.
Michael Caliendo.
Another workman-like performance for Mikey Caliendo. Super consistent. 174 pounds. It's a matchup of All-Americans. Patrick Kennedy, third in the country, 9-1. Christopher Minto, ranked 6th in the nation. He's 13-2. Of course, last year he was down at 165, and he's wrestling well. 7 straight W's for Minto.
Yeah, this man is one of the most exciting Huskers to watch. He likes to go ahead and attack the waist, comes up, pops his hips in. A lot of power.
Cape Coral, Florida, Mariner High School.
Patrick Kennedy is known for his
Grit.
a grinder out there, heavy lean in his stance there, but he never, I don't see him get snapped down too many times. Guys have difficulty. If you take shallow shots on him, he's going to go around you and score.
Kennedy did not wrestle last week against Levi Haynes.
We'll see how Minto handles the barrage there. See that the collar snap downs right there that Kennedy's kind of known for. He comes inside, switches off to a 2-on-1, underhook to the other side, constantly marching forward.
6th year, was a 4-time Minnesota State champion. Casson Manderville
Center, gentlemen.
cracked the code to become an All-American last March in Philly.
And this is another situation where Kennedy likes to wear his opponents down right now. Well, Minto is a guy that will body lock you, so if you're constantly marching into him, you're going to have your opportunities to lock around the waist and throw.
And how about his sister last Friday night inside Carver Hawkeye, Corey, singing the national anthem? She was on The Voice. She is spectacular.
Not to interrupt you, Shane, but that was one of the best, right, that we've heard. Get to travel a lot of different venues and hear some talented people, but soulful performance by.
She was really good.
Cassie Kennedy?
Corey Kennedy,
yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Front headlock here for Patrick. Patrick was an 11 seed last March in Philly, placed 4th. His only loss this season to MJ Gaitan of Iowa State, 9-8 in the Cyhawk duel. No score, 1:35 to go here in the first. Kennedy able to snap him down into a front headlock once again, and just so strong and physical.
Yeah, and these are the techniques that you kind of wear out your opponent, because Minto's using a lot of those back muscles there, squaring back up and staying in, but he doesn't want to. Had a bad visual where he goes straight off, but we always seen where the referee's going to call that for stalling.
You're good.
Minto was 8th at the Big Tens last year, 24-7 record. He was at 165. Went to the national tournament as a 12 seed, made the semis where he fell to Mitchell Messenbrink. Ultimately fell to Peyton Hall of West Virginia in the 3rd place match. Kennedy taking territory, likes those double unders. Nice ankle pick there, but out of bounds.
That was really well done. Double underhook there, was able to get at a slight angle and drop to the ankle and pick it and went off the mat. Look at the lean that you're going to get off the tie-up here from Kennedy. Now Minto pushes back into him. It's just like Shane getting a stall warning on a guy, even though it hasn't happened yet. You know it's happened, so you're going to see Minto come a little bit further, into him, get his head up a little bit more and push in. Perhaps a scoring opportunity for Kennedy.
There's a shot for Minto. Hard whizzer there from Patrick Kennedy.
Tried to come around the waist.
Hawkeye stays square.
Deceptive on his feel there with that Patrick Kennedy. He saw where Minto, just like we talked about, likes to go up around the waist. He tried to do it there. He had it locked for a split second, and Kennedy was able to slide out of it here and bust back into it.
Minto's only losses at the national duels, one to Carson Hartslaw of Ohio State, 5-1. The other to Alex Facundo of Oklahoma State, 2-1.
And notice how the shots get a little more shallow when you control a guy's upper body like that. Head and arm, inside collar tie, now coming to an underhook. Front headlock position. Watch him work off of this. Short time.
Final seconds in this first period. Kennedy and Minto.
At
Good choice.
Top 10 matchup, a pair of All-Americans scoreless after 3 minutes.
Red.
Jim, Patrick Kennedy to me would be one of those guys I would absolutely hate
Other way,
to wrestle. It's going to be miserable.
Yeah, it's when he's on, he's doing that to people, right? Sometimes
on top.
he finds guys that just have a little bit more edge on their technique. You see Minto's kind of stayed straight on with him because Minto's a power guy too.
I've said it many times before. It's another example tonight. It's the 1979 pickup truck with 230,000 miles. It takes a couple turns at times, but once it starts, it is good to go. It's built to do the work. Go chop some wood. I mean, that's Patrick Kennedy.
If you had one of those, you'd learn how to change the oil.
No way. I am not changing oil with these hands, Jim. No way.
Roll right there. Opportunity for Minto to jump back up and get an escape at least.
Or a reversal. Kennedy dives for an ankle.
Just didn't have the awareness of Kennedy dropping in on that ankle.
And he's still building his riding time. Now at 50 seconds.
Well, you're going to stop it and call him for stalling. But he'll take that. He didn't give up the points. Now, he lost a little riding time in that sequence there, but with that drop down, he stopped the match, called stalling. And
he'll gladly take that exchange.
No. Yep.
Getting on the right-hand side right there.
Drop down.
Just that piece of it right there. Yeah, nice job of getting his hips out and making the turn. 1 minute of riding time gives you options. Inside,
go in the second period.
Excuse me, Shane. Inside collar, right hand inside collar tie by Kennedy. Right, when he comes inside with the collar, he'll put weight on it, but then he'll come to a 2-on-1 off of it, and then each one of those sequences there, followed up maybe with an inside bicep tie, underhook the far side. He's got a whole sequence that he's using right there. I call those tiring out techniques, where you get your opponent basically using his upper back and shoulders, and sometimes roll through attempt.
Kennedy, though, once again has those ankles. Now he's going to elevate.
Yeah, now he's got the far ankle right there. Both athletes, I think, have the same technique on each other. Guy creates a little headspace right there to get up.
Gentlemen.
Final seconds in the second period. Kennedy hangs on to that right ankle. He'll take a 1-0 match to the third. Minto with the lead.
And Kennedy's been deceptively fast with those roll-through attempts.
Set.
Minto has allowed him in scoring situations to be able to get to his ankles on the roll-through. Doesn't look like Minto's too committed to this ride.
There's the escape. Riding time is just at a minute, so here we go, 1-1, each guy with an escape.
See where Minto's basically coming up a little bit, not blocking with the top of his head as much right now. And that's going to open up some leg shots for both guys. His hand's caught in the headgear, I think,
Off the
right
throw,
there.
gentlemen.
One match already tonight inside a victory was Antrell Taylor victorious for Nebraska at 157. Kennedy heavy with those hands, snaps, collar ties.
Doing a nice job of getting a little bit of lateral motion now with his ties. Kennedy is. We've seen swing single attempts there by Minto.
Down to 60 to go here in this third period.
Number 3.
Neither guy's been warned for stalling.
You see an opening for either guy?
Yeah, I think if there's maybe some touch and goes there, a little misdirection shot. But you know, for Minto tying up here the heavy collar ties like this, I think this is, this is Kennedy's game.
Iowa has not lost to Nebraska and Lincoln since 1993. Short time here in regulation, down to 15 seconds.
That's a pretty good job by Minto. Notice how he's coming to the inside of those collar ties. Kennedy's getting a little bit wide on his collar ties right there, and Minto's been able to kind of pummel back into the inside. Short time.
Heading to setting victory.
We'll see if they can do anything with that.
Sudden victory, gentlemen. Here we go.
This is the deep water, Shane.
Yes, it is.
Heavy collar tie, inside collar tie. Shooting through those collar ties is going to be tough for Minto. Got to get a little bit better angle.
He needs an angle. Nebraska really needs this one here at 174. The Hawkeyes lead at 16-6. Minto trying to keep hope alive for the Big Red. Straight on shot. Kennedy's got that underhook.
He is so good with just wide stance. It doesn't look like he's powerful there, but he knows how to keep a man into his power zone. Take advantage of Kennedy's power and really make the other, his opponent work.
Halfway through this second victory.
1 minute remaining, sudden victory.
The hard hand fight continues.
Another good shot right there by Minto.
Hawkeye goes back to that underhook. Headlock. And drives the Cornhusker out of bounds. And there is a stall call on Minto.
And that's after a couple of lower level change right there. I think there's another lower level change there. Those are committed shots. I don't think that's stalling. I think it's a guy going after, trying to create an opening. But it's got to be that way at the edge of the mat too.
Another shot right into the chest of Kennedy. Kennedy goes double unders.
Gotta be careful here not to get backed out.
Reminds me of what we saw at 157. Shot there on the edge.
Yeah.
Back to the center.
That probably equalized that call a little bit.
Christopher Minto, a slower walk back to the center where the Hawkeye Patrick Kennedy awaits. And this place is getting loud. 10 seconds away from the tiebreakers.
After the sudden victory, Minto and Kennedy.
Choice goes to Kennedy.
3-2 to the
And his corner saying defer. That's what he does.
No.
Or did he make the call first?
He made the call first. He chose down. They look back at the Iowa corner, and there's
Too late.
All right, you got one star call, Red,
to change
okay?
the call.
Yeah. Huh?
Corner clearly wanted him to go.
You got one. Let's go.
defer.
Set. On top.
So Kennedy goes on bottom. Riding time now becomes a factor, and that was huge for Kennedy. Took a second.
Wow. Great job of getting his hips in and hips out and making that turn. Good back pressure.
Now the riding time, Jim, says 3 seconds. There is no way that was 3 seconds. That might have been a second. We wrestle these two 30-second tiebreakers in their entirety.
Kennedy doing a good job. That was an opportunity for Minto with that kind of
Your choice.
almost a half bear hug. Look at this quick escape right here on the replay. This is the way you do it, all right? Get your feet out front, all right? Make the slide through, make the big turn, get low.
And Tom Brands is hot. And I gotta be honest, I don't blame him. He's complaining about riding time. That was not 3 seconds. It was not.
No. He'll get a warning for it, but he'll take it.
You want neutral? Red. Neutral.
So now because of that quick escape, Minto is going to choose neutral.
Yep.
There's a quick shot there, no caution.
You see that Kennedy's really picked up his foot movement there. Now he's on the snap. All right.
There's a stall call on Kennedy, his first. Down to 15 seconds. Minto's picked up his urgency. Kennedy really strong with his head-hands defense. He circles back in. And Patrick Kennedy, like that old reliable pickup truck, does the work in Lincoln. 2-1 for the Hawkeyes.
That was a war.
Typical Patrick Kennedy.
Media timeout on the floor.
Talk about Gabe Arnold. Gets the nod, 10-2. Silas Allred. Tough sudden victory loss last Friday night to Max McAnally of Minnesota. Looking forward to this matchup.
I am too. It's the thing about we've seen with Gabe Arnold, and I think, you know, he's been the ultimate utility guy with 97, 84, and 74. I mean, he's been the guy that's shown a lot of versatility for his team. And I think I just get a sense with him that he's becoming a better wrestler. He's putting more of an effort into that as opposed to going out there and, you know, having a close match. And this might end up being a close match because these guys' style don't necessarily mean they're going to be big points out there. But boy, I tell you what, for Silas Allred, he's got to do something to get this crowd in here.
For sure.
I think the people behind us can hear me.
Gabe Arnold, national qualifier for Iowa last year at 184. He was 5th at the Big Tens. Silas Allred, 7th last March to become an All-American. Fell in the blood round in each of the previous 2 NCAA tournament appearances. Those were up at 197. Won that Big Ten title in 2023. Beat Max Dean of Penn State to win that Big Ten title.
At 97.
At 97, yes.
Center, gentlemen, center.
So, a guy coming up from 74 and a guy coming down from 97 years ago. But you can see what I'm talking about with Gabe Arnold. He's already shown, you know, shots to both sides. He's been the aggressor there at the edge of the mat. I mean, he's building confidence in this sport.
Silas Allred, previous 3 seasons, over 70 wins for Nebraska.
You know, and I've always liked about Silas is that he likes to shoot to that logo leg of the Hawkeyes singlet right there.
Nice counter here from Gabe Arnold.
Pop the hips in.
Chest wrap here from Silas Allred. And Gabe Arnold should score here. He's got the 3. Arnold strikes first with 40 to go in the first.
And how many attempts did he really kind of make? He really made 5 or 6 really pretty decent attempts here from the neutral position. The only thing that you can hear in the venue right now is the Iowa bench. They have silenced this crowd.
It's been a really good response for the Hawkeyes after last Friday night. The 4th-ranked team in the country. And Gabe Arnold gets the takedown and going to finish the period on top and take riding time over 40 seconds. Really solid first period, getting that takedown.
Look at this shot right there. He goes below the knee and then switches up to the hips. You know, this is a tight position right here with the chest wrapped, as you mentioned, Shane, but he's able to go ahead, plop him down, gets control, slowly moves up there. You know, we talked about that before last week here when you saw the Penn State wrestlers. You know, you get in a good position, you got to breathe a little bit, you got to slow it down, right? You just got to go ahead and just, you know, slowly move up a guy. Sometimes you get too much haste, you're going to end up in a roll-through situation, and it's not to your advantage.
Allred to his feet. Neutral. He's on the board, 3-1.
And this next minute 43 has just got to be all Allred going after it and trying to create a lot of, you know, activity here that gets. Oh, look, there's another shot. You got to like what you're seeing here with the black singlet here, because this man is going out there with the lead, trying to go ahead and extend.
Looking to build on his lead. Whizzer from Allred on the edge.
He's just beating Silas to the punch right here. So
action, neutral.
Arnold wrestled last week down at 174. Lost to Levi Haynes 4-2. His other loss was to Danny Wask of Navy in the Soldier Salute final, also at 174. Lost the midshipman 4-1 in sudden victory.
And there really hasn't been, there's the first shot there by Allred. He's able to change up where they head to the outside to the, it's not necessarily his favorite leg to shoot, but it's a pretty good shot nonetheless.
Arnold able to kick away. Collar ties, half a minute showing in the period. Iowa leading at 19-6. Here's Allred, but into the chest. On his shoot tops, probably going to get a stalemate.
Work here, gentlemen. Yeah, work through this.
Yeah, laces flat right there, no power. It should be a stalemate.
Stalemate, neutral. Yep.
At the end of period number 2, Arnold leads Allred 3-1.
Other way, let's go.
Arnold chooses down
Arnold
to
goes on
begin
bottom.
period number 3.
Other way.
Georgia native was a two-time national prep champ at Wyoming Seminary. Wyoming Seminary, Jim, I did that dual meet last night. And Bishop McCourt, what a dual meet, 28-27 for the Crushers.
That has to be a lot of fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
Phenomenal atmosphere. Did that dual meet last year at Wyoming Seminary in Kingston, Pennsylvania. Bishop McCourt won that one as well. High school dual meets are so much fun. Came down to a kid Spontac.
Well,
He got beat but did not give up the bonus points, and they hung on for the win. Of course, Bo Bassett showed up. Melvin Miller showed up. Keegan Bassett had a huge fall, and here's Gabe Arnold
back in on a shot.
looking to add 3 more, but before he can do that, potentially dangerous whistle.
What did you say, 28-27?
28-27.
55 points scored in dual meet.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah, Spontac. I believe we ended, if I remember right, at 189. Did not give up the bonus points. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Pitt, Johnstown, and St. Vincent College before that. Give me a microphone and some Resolite, Jim. I'm a happy guy.
Well, I'll tell you who's a happy guy right now is Tom Brown's watching this guy basically hold on to this lead.
There's a shot, but no setup, no angle.
No. Off the mat right there. Silas Allred maybe can work with this left-handed underhook. He's got to do something here with this. Got the wrist tie. Good job of Arnold by squaring up there, getting his feet moving.
Riding time and on factor. There's a stall call on the Hawkeye. Silas Allred needs a takedown, improves his position, works up on a single leg with 30 seconds to go.
His hands are a little low. Now he can come back out. Right now he's elbow deep there, reaches for the far ankle. It's not there. Arnold goes into the splits.
And Arnold attacking the hands.
Right, he's got the inside hand he's attacking right there. And as they go off, he's able to limp out.
Does a really nice job to circle back in. The clock continues to roll. And Gabe Arnold, the latest Hawkeye to taste victory. 4-1 for Gabe Arnold.
Score of 4-1 for Iowa, Gabe Arnold.
Gabe Arnold now 11-2 on the season. Got that first period takedown, and that stood up, and he gets his arm raised.
For Iowa, from Huxley, Iowa, Brody Sampson.
197 pounds, Brody Sampson, the redshirt freshman from Huxley, Iowa. And All-American Camden McDaniel, an All-American last year, an 8th place finish. Then is a true freshman out of Circleville, Ohio. Taze Valley was a 3-time finalist, won a state title in 2023. Camden McDaniel coming out to some Michael Jackson. Love it.
So, yeah, McDaniel, you know, heavily favored in this match. the All-American. What a season he had last year. I looked over at the national tournament and I saw the consolation rounds. I said, this guy's going to win the match for the round of 12. I go, man, they're having a great tournament.
With that win from Gabe Arnold, Iowa has secured the dual meet victory, handing Nebraska its first Big Ten loss of the season. And McDaniel, Jim, 23-14 last season, 5th at the Big Tens. He was the 20th seed at the national tournament, lost in the first round to Trey Munoz, then won 4 straight to become an All-American. Beat Gabe Sollers of Indiana in the blood round. Ultimately lost to Max Stout in that 7th place match. But he made the podium. 8 All-Americans for the Cornhuskers.
In a great weight class. You take a look at the top 4 in that weight class. All hammers. Stephen Buchanan, the national champion for Iowa.
Jacob Cardenas, Josh Barr of Penn State. McDaniel last week in Minneapolis beat Gavin Nelson 7-2. I believe Gavin Nelson won earlier tonight against Ohio State.
Center, gentlemen.
Yeah, Coach
Center.
Manning just, you saw the disappointment in the interview that he had. You don't see, there's that shot there by McDaniel, but just not following it up. I mean, this has been a problem, all throughout the lineup. Guys not getting to their offense very quickly.
Brody Sampson, first dual meet of his career last Friday night in Carver Hawkeye, was pinned by Josh Barr. It was 1-2 at the Soldier Salute, early January. No score, 2 minutes into this first period.
And for Nebraska, this Big Ten schedule doesn't get any easier here. On Sunday, they wrestle Ohio State that comes into this arena.
And then next Friday at Penn State.
Yeah, we'll see them next Friday.
Welcome to the Big Ten. An 8-day span.
Yeah.
Iowa,
Action,
Ohio State,
Yep.
Penn State. 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, so I mean, it gets much more difficult from here. I mean, this is the first leg of this.
Here's McDaniel late in this first period, and he covers the hips and scores the 3 inside of 10 seconds. This Sunday on Big Ten Plus, Nebraska and Ohio State. Then next Friday, Hawkeyes are back at it for a showdown with Minnesota. That one also on Big Ten Plus. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It is always game on.
That's your choice. Okay, here we go. Red, going down.
And right now with Big Ten Plus, 3 months of Big Ten Plus for just $5.99. Use that promo code SAVE26. Enter SAVE26 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Of course, with the weather, some duels move to tomorrow. You get it all on Big Ten Plus, including the Big Ten Championships.
Be able to pick up Penn State wrestling Maryland tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. That got
Saturday.
moved.
So that'll be on
from
Big Ten
Sunday.
Plus with the weather.
Rutgers, Illinois tomorrow.
So won't be able to see Penn State on the linear network, but you can pick it up on Big Ten Plus.
McDaniel adding to his lead here in the second period. The quick escape, 4-0. McDaniel, a Navy Classic finalist, lost to Max Stout of Pitt in that final. Sampson went to Ballard Huxley, multiple-time placer.
Gentlemen, action.
What's impressed you most about Iowa tonight?
Well, last week, I made the comment during the broadcast. I really thought that the first 5 guys went out there and showed a lot of fight. And, obviously, when you're talking about Penn State, you're going to, run into some just excellent technicians and all that stuff. But I even thought in those close matches that they had in the first 5, those guys went out and showed some fight. The same thing happened, today here. First 5 guys went out there, and then I think it was followed up by the back half. I mean, you saw the intensity. I was really impressed with Gabe Arnold, Patrick Kennedy in a scoreless match. You see McDaniel getting the score. That's Brody Sampson.
Second takedown for McDaniel.
But you know,
the Cornhusker now leads at 7-0.
But when you have these moments where you get blown out like that, and it's happened to me when we went against the great Iowa teams that we did. I mean, you just got to continue to be who you are. You look at your team and you go, hey, you know, and you can choose to listen to what other people say, but it's really what happens in that room. If those goals are real, if that sacrifice is real, those performances are going to be real at the end of the year. And I think we saw
6-point lead to the third.
And I saw it in warm-ups here with Drake Ayala. And then there's a guy that's got to be a leader for this team. He's a two-time NCAA runner-up, all right? And it goes out there and gets taken down. And bam,
and then he got what, 3-4 takedowns?
Yeah, if he against an All-American. If he wrestles like that and that pace, he's going to be dangerous. And I don't think at a stage where you've been to the finals a couple times, I wouldn't worry too much about the seed, whether you're hitting, and you're better off wrestling a match where there's a lot of scoring.
These two have been wrestling for a long, long time. Long time. What would you call that, 10mm film maybe?
Escape Simpson.
Good stuff. So much history between these two programs.
It was silent, I promise you that, in 1911.
Wonder what it was like to go to a wrestling match back in the early 1900s.
Well, they had huge crowds, you know. Another attempt there by Sampson.
Counterattack.
Yeah, and I think as young Sampson progresses in the sport, is that you want to be able to take those shots, and as you get better in the room, you give up less of those type of counter type of shots. You know, you see where, you know, the shot at the first period. This is a chance for McDaniel now in a single leg. Just basically no setup necessary, just shot in.
With 1 minute remaining in the third period, tacks on 3 more. His 4th takedown of the match. You think about the giveaways in the early 1900s. I mean, when you go to the duel, what do they give you? I mean, now the T-shirts, tonight it was like some rally towel type giveaways. I mean, what was it like back in the early 1900s?
Well, you probably got a straw hat because, you know, that was probably outside in the afternoon.
Maybe something for the horses, maybe?
You take a look at those old photographs. Everybody's got a straw hat, you know, trying to stay out of the sun. Yeah.
Another solid attack and a quick finish there for McDaniel as he pours it on here in this third period. Looking for a tech fall. Oh, nice job there for McDaniel. And he's got the tech fall. If he's able to finish this match on top, because he takes riding time over 60 seconds. 20-5 tech fall for Camden McDaniel, the true sophomore from Circleville, Ohio. Gives these Husker fans something to cheer. His only loss was to eventual national champion Stephen Buchanan. Beat Big Ten champion Jacob Cardenas of Michigan for 3rd. I know the fans, Jim, they have stayed because they want to see the splits.
Yeah. I tell you what, Ben Keeter was the first guy out. You know, we're talking about, you know, weigh-ins are 2 hours out, and he was, after weigh-in, he was out here drilling hard. And they're just trying to get him to open up a little bit, but it was kind of fun watching him drill a little bit. We didn't get an opportunity to see the Nebraska wrestlers. They don't do that at the same time, but this is a big match for him.
Keeter lost to Colmiro Sol of Penn State 4-3 last Friday night. 3-2 all duels last season. The Hawkeye Keeter 21-9. He was 3rd at the Big Tens, had a great Big Ten tournament at Northwestern. Went to Philadelphia as the 5 seed, placed 8th. Put about 20 pounds on since last season. The 4-time undefeated state champion at City High. Junior freestyle world champ, no score. 1:15 into this opening period.
Yeah, and Ferrari, you can see what he's doing with his, you know, from distance there. He's coming right to the head here, popping the forehead a few times, and I think Keeter had about enough of that and went into his heavy collar tie. You know, one thing that you see shots from distance from AJ. You know, when he was at 97 when he won the national championship, I don't think he got taken down at all that year.
And he's really good on top.
Yeah, and then you see those splits that he does and all that stuff, his flexibility and his strength. He hasn't lost any strength, that's for sure.
What's the deadlift at, 660?
Well, I think he was 660 when he was a freshman, and now he's 25 years old. So imagine that has gone up. But I'm surprised we haven't heard what it is.
1 minute remaining in period number 1.
Beat Coy Hopke of Minnesota 2-1 last Friday. Inside of a minute.
Tied up ear to ear here with both guys. And I'd have to imagine, Shane, with the time that AJ spent at the University of Iowa here when he was considering, you know, getting onto their squad, that these two would kind of tangled a little bit anyway. You know, that I'm sure that they've faced off at times, but you know that they probably lifted together.
Sure. Short time here in this first period. Neither guy taking a risk.
Yeah.
Reshot there. Oh, right back out into the double leg. Nice job of squaring the hips up right there. But
And look at this, Jim. Inside of 5 seconds, he puts 3 on the board.
and he just drove right through there. So the setup to his shot was this, and then he came back out and rammed right back through. That's, you know, the setup to his double leg was his double leg.
That is some power.
Yeah, he's so powerful off his knees like that, and then to do it at the end of the period like that
on
was
top green.
Huge takedown inside of 5 seconds. And now he goes on bottom. Quickly works to his feet.
trying to pinch there. Good job by Ferrari. Cutting the hands, getting a quick escape. I thought just for a split second there that Keeter, when he stepped the head to the middle on that takedown, that he was going to be able to get it, you know, put his hips down low, but, you know, that's where you saw the power of Ferrari.
Ferrari rocking the double knee pads like one of our good friends who I know is watching tonight, the East Lansing Strangler, Nick Simmons, rocking the double knee pads.
Easy.
Three-time Big Ten champ at Michigan State.
I love the way that guy presented himself. You know, everybody, he's in our top of mentions that we've given
We
him
love
this year.
ourselves some Nick Simmons.
Yeah.
I used to
Makes
do a
me
sports
laugh.
talk show, Jim, 20 years ago. We did a wrestling talk show out of Appleton, Wisconsin on AM 1570. And Nick Simmons was our go-to guest. I mean, he was on every other week.
Well, I liked his jacket. Everybody wondered, you know, what illegal move he might be putting on out there when he's choking guys out. But then he wore this jacket around. It was green, you know, the Spartan
Action,
green
gentlemen.
color. And it said East Lansing Strangler. It's just like, catch me if you can.
One of the great nicknames in college wrestling history.
What a pinner.
He was. Him and his brother Andy, phenomenal high school careers in Michigan, and won a ton of matches for the Spartans.
Facilitated more naps than a kindergarten teacher.
Ferrari with that late takedown in the first, early escape in the second, and the Cornhusker 4-0 to the third period. Outstanding wrestler sponsored by Cliff Keen Athletic. Ryder block at 149 gets the takedown right into a cradle, and he gets the slap of the Resolite, a big 6 for blocking the Hawkeyes at 149.
Set.
Ryder block. Really good story for the Hawkeyes. Battling injuries the past couple of years, and this year he's been healthy.
Well, it's got some
He's looked really good.
He's got some personality too. You know, I think you have to be one of those guys if you're going to wrestle for Tom and Terry. I mean, they give the. I mean, these guys dedicate their lives to making these kids better. All right, but you know, there's got to be some fun along the way, some laughs, and I think Locke knows how to handle his staff in the right way.
Keeter with an escape. And now Tom Brands is out of his seat once again. Husker fans are letting him hear it.
Yeah.
These fan bases are a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, a fun game would be, what's the best insult you've heard tonight from the Nebraska fans at the Iowa coaches?
they're very polite, you know.
I don't know what you're listening to, Jim.
I've got the women and children are on my side. There's a couple savages on yours behind you. So
great rivalry, Iowa and Nebraska. I think Tom was saying that Ferrari was pulling the singlet. You said it before, not much gets past Tom Brains.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
Final minute.
well, you have moments like this. Mark Manning and
Green.
A shot there from Ferrari on a single leg.
good position. So he tries to run the pipe here a little bit. Right, tries to switch off to boy. He just drops in and just tries to muscle right through that. Good defense this time by Keeter. Tries to go behind there and they go off the net.
Ferrari's only loss was to Nick Feldman, 5-4. Feldman with a nice win for the Buckeyes tonight. And congratulations to Tom Brands, who tonight picked up his 300th dual meet victory as head coach of the Hawkeyes. Incredible feat.
Look at that. Nice job by Ferrari whizzing out of that position. Not many people get out of that.
And he kicks away. And with that, we'll get the decision 4-1. Ferrari over Keeter. Sign of respect between Ferrari and Keeter.
These guys have spent some time together.
And that marks the conclusion of tonight's duel.
22-14 is the final score, as A.J. Ferrari will get his arm raised at center mat.
Your Huskers 14.
As the fans are hoping to see those Ferrari splits.
Not today.
Again, congratulations to Tom Brands.